People ask me every time, why the heck are you in China? People really had like big fears about China. Think about it, I'm Israeli, I'm in China. There are two quite controversial countries to Westerners, you know?
Meet Ross, an Israeli who has been living in China for over 15 years. Today he is recognized as one of the most influential foreigners in the country, with more than 22 million followers across Chinese and international platforms. But Ross isn't just a content creator, he's also an entrepreneur making waves in the digital industry.
I brought the top 10 Chinese influencers to Greenville and to learn from the #1 most influential content creator in the world. And he's coming to China soon as well.
You live in China for 15 years. How's it like living in China as an Israeli? And how do Chinese people usually react when you tell them you're from Israel?
In this video, we will dive into Ross' journey of entrepreneurship in China, his perspective on Chinese culture and what's it like living in China as an Israeli.
But the biggest thing about entrepreneurship is not about the revenue. I think it's a lot about also your cost efficiency.
I have one last question I want to ask you. Been here for 15 years. What are the 5 industries might blow up in China in the next 10 years?
Wow, 5 is a big one, but let me tell you what I think.
I've organized the conversation into clear topics, so if you'd like to skip ahead, you can find the time codes in the description below. Now let's get started.
How you doing, man? Nice to meet you, bro. I'm so happy. I reached out to him actually. I'm a big fan of your content, and I've been making videos in China for almost 10 years. And I saw what you're doing, and I'm like, man, you're an inspiring creator. So
Thank you.
Here I am.
You are the original first people who created content in China.
Yeah, one of the first ones. It was when he just started, before people were even creators. The idea of being a video creator was not even a thing.
Can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Okay, hi guys, my name is Raz Galor. I'm from Israel. I've been based in China for more than 15 years right now. I run a media company called Y Platform, in Chinese, Y Guoren Yanjiu Xiehui, where we are building a bridge between China and the world using videos. At the same time, help them share their culture to the Chinese people. So it's a cross-cultural bridge.
You also have a Chinese name.
Yes, my Chinese name is Gao You Si, which means a tall, blessed thinker. And she gave it to me based on my personality, and I was like, oh, thank you. That's very nice. Chinese teachers give the sweetest names if you really ask them to think about it. So I really love Chinese names. It empowers you as well.
You've been in China for 15 years. Originally, why did you come to China?
My dad, he's one day he just came to us, me, my brother, and my 2 sisters. We're 6 of us, and he was like, we're moving to Hong Kong, China. And we were very shocked. We were actually very sad. I was sobbing, I was upset. I had to say bye to my friends. And in the middle of your life, you're a kid, drop everything from a small little city in Israel to the unknown, you know? Looking back, it was probably one of the best decisions he could ever do for me. Later on, when I decided to go to college, I decided to apply for the Chinese university, Beijing Daxue. I got rejected the first year because my academic Chinese wasn't good enough. Second year I got in, and I was the first Israeli ever to be recruited in Beida until today. 4 years of full in Chinese, studying economics, international relations, or it's a bit unthinkable a little bit. It's quite challenging.
Did you get to pick up some Cantonese back in Hong Kong?
You know, I could understand a lot before. Like Lei Ho, Guai Lo, you know, foreigner Guai Lo. Actually, it's a little offensive, but it's also fun. It's a bit like the Lawai, a white ghost basically, and they kind of say it when they're pissed at you. They're Guai Lo, come on. I could also say the swear words, like, you know. Like the taxi drivers in Hong Kong, like wild, man. They swear like at least 50 times at ride. Like they just swear at everything that walks, you know?
What about your Mandarin?
普通话还行吧，还行. To put it really short is that when I tried to learn it first in classes with other foreigners, I couldn't pick it up because I wasn't using it outside the classroom. So my trick eventually to really get intense in Chinese is to change my entire friend circle, lifestyle, and phone. And I've just deleted every single app that was in Chinese. I've changed my settings to Chinese, and my entire life moved into Chinese apps and Chinese world, and I immersed myself into that Chinese mindset. I would sing breakup songs in Chinese. I would read a lot of newspaper in Chinese, even if I didn't understand anything. And the last thing I did is that I went and attended fully Chinese classes in university. I would actually 赠课，我就会赠课。我在北大清华我就赠课。I just kind of sneaked in and I would listen to Chinese professors speaking about economics in Chinese, and I had no idea what's going on. I would take pictures of every slide and I would go back and I would just translate one by one, and I would learn every term about Chinese economy, Chinese politics, to a point where I could like really pick it up really fast. But I think that sacrifice of like changing myself to be Chinese, that was the real turn point in my learning.
我们俩之前在微信联系的时候，你跟我说你中文不好， 我都不相信。
哎呀，我就说中国人的谦虚嘛，也学一学，就在中国还得谦虚啊，辛苦了啊！这我不是说我中文不好，但是我跟别的会说中文的外国人比，我是属于他们那个倒数第一，因为他们我是新月小姐姐，我的美国朋友阿福啊，我的德国哥们儿，包括你采访的这些人，他们的中文我操，哇，我觉得不太好听，
挺好的，挺好的。对于南方人来说，北方
南方对。反正还是北方学的嘛，对吧
You live in China for 15 years. How's like living in China as a Israeli? And how do Chinese people usually react when you tell them you're from Israel?
That's a really good question because not many Israelis come to China. It's a very small community. First of all, Israelis are very direct people. And when you come to China, the first impression you understand that people are a bit more closed down, a bit more 含蓄, a little bit more 内向. They say they don't really reject you. If they don't want it, they say maybe. And so a lot of time in interaction day to day, it was just very difficult to communicate, I remember. Because I came with like a very fiery attitude, the Israeli chutzpah we call it, which is like you just say what you mean, you go straight ahead. That kind of attitude in China doesn't really work. You got to be a bit more humble, a bit more quiet sometimes. I think that's the biggest culture difference I experienced. But let's talk about exactly what Israelis are perceived here when you come here. So when I go to somebody and I say I'm from Israel, the first thing they say is like, "Wow, 犹太人吗?" They're like, 很聪明的. And I was like, oh, like literally taxi drivers to the people who clean the streets, and you chat with them. They would have the similar stereotype that Jews are very smart. And then they move into like, oh, 你有钱啊,对吧? 你们犹太人做生意做得真好. And I think that's like one of the most basic fundamental stereotypes that Chinese people have about Israelis or Jewish people, which is in a very unique way a positive stereotype, if you think about it, because they are quite smiley and happy when they say it. I felt like it came from like an appreciation. And usually what's really nice, they don't really show a political opinion about it. Don't necessarily ever go into a very like conflicted, in your face, like, oh, I don't like Israel, I don't support you guys. It's very uncommon in China to happen. Happened to me more in Europe actually, and the US. In China, it feels it's a bit of a softer, indirect culture. So I really feel more comfortable as an Israeli here. I feel in China, generally, if they don't like you, they won't make you feel uncomfortable. And I think that's something I respect in Chinese culture. If they have a way to disagree with you, they will find a more proper situation, or more legit situation to show it. So generally, a lot of foreigners around the world, when they come here, no matter what background they are, what countries they come from, what kind of news are about this country, you feel quite equal in terms of the treatment here. And that's something that I really appreciate about Chinese people.
Chinese people see you guys as all foreign, no matter where you're from.
I think like the idea that China sees everyone as a foreigner in one way makes Chinese people understand less about each culture and their difference, but at the same time it also makes them less aggressive or angry or like judgmental on each culture. So it has good and bad. I wish that Chinese people see more the diversity of each culture and not say, oh, he's a white guy, but you can say, oh, he's probably, you know, an African American, or he's from the Middle East, or he's like a little bit more segments so they understand a bit the cultural background. But that's improving, of course, I think. So anyway, there's a lot of interesting philosophies around the concept of foreigner in China. And
I want to ask you about being an entrepreneur in China.
Oh,
so
man.
You're definitely a successful entrepreneur with over 20 million followers across all the platforms.
Thank you, man. Yeah.
It's really cool because I've been watching your channel, 外国人协会 for, I would say, 10 years.
Oh my God, yeah, that's a long time.
So
Man, I'm an oldie, man. You're the new generation. You're the real deal.
大哥. So how did you able to achieve such high value, high price in China, being a foreigner?
I've built a business that has raised money 4 times, 4 rounds of investment. We manage more than 120 million subscribers across all platforms with more than 50 influencers that we help build their content and their business. I have 3 Chinese business partners. The reason that I managed to be an entrepreneur in China is firstly because of my dad, who is an investor, and all his life is about investing in startups. The crazy story is that when I was first year in college in Beijing Daxue, he called me over, he's like, Raz, listen, you've done it. You entered the university, well done. You studied hard your Chinese, you became more fluent, academically fluent. He's like, yeah, but time for a new challenge. He's like, next, you're gonna be an entrepreneur.
Wow.
So again, just like how he moved me to China, he's also moved me from a student to an entrepreneur. I'm not gonna say it was against my will, but it was definitely mostly his will. And for the first 2-3 years, I'm not gonna go into detail what we did, but I tried to build a business while being a student, and I failed completely. He's giving me some kind of support, not so much money, but more like office space and connections. And I tried to build an Airbnb for experiences, because back in the day, 2014, this is 2014 guys in China. I was 19 years old and I was trying to create a platform for Chinese and foreigners to host each other, where you would book a person's 2 hours wine tour, or 2 hours baijiu tour, or 2 hours go to a football game. That completely fell through. But by the third year, we realized that to promote this platform that we built and developed, we needed to make videos for it. So we made our hosts on the platform that were hosting people make videos about, hey, I'm Raz and I'm in China, I'm gonna take you on the best food restaurant here in China, something like this. And that kind of made us see the potential of video content creation in 2014. Long story short, we ended up building a channel that was not related to our business, that was Airbnb for experiences. It was purely a video channel to create bridges between Chinese and foreigners. I realized that the world has so many misunderstandings about China. Unbelievable. Like, people ask me every time, why the heck are you in China? It's like, why are you studying there? Look, dude, it's such a weird country. It's so communist, it's so controlled, it's had so many restrictions. If you say something wrong, would you be arrested? People really had like big fears about China, and they didn't really ever take time to listen to my day-to-day life and how living here actually in many ways is normal, is chill, is fun, it's exciting. So that kind of questioning from my friends from around the world about China have fire in my belly to create a channel called YChina, where I would answer this question and give them an access into the why behind why the heck am I here. And I realized to answer that question, I need to be convincing. I cannot just say, oh, I am in China because of 1, 2, 3. I actually need to interview many other foreigners and ask them the same question. And that's where my channel started. It became a like a foreigners research institute, where we research foreigners' reasons behind being here. And it's very similar to the vision you're doing in a way, because you're really going deep into people's ideas and why are they here and why they study Chinese. And I think we come from a very similar kind of gut instinct.
It is.
We need to show China to the world in a more authentic way through the eyes of the foreigners living here. I know the top Chinese-speaking foreigners in the entire of China, sitting in Beijing. And they were my friends, they were my classmates, they were in the streets. So I was like, I'm gonna go to the streets and I'm gonna find them. And that's where I am. I ended up doing street interviews, and later on I ended up doing a lot of tours. And now I'm taking people on crazy experiences around China in places nobody's ever been to. I've just kind of started with this vision, which is make the world understand China better and make China understand the world better. And I took that into a video channel, which is luckily rose to about 25 million followers right now over the last 8 years. And I feel like it's all because of that vision I had that was really personal to me and not to my dad. My dad really wanted to build a business, you know, classic Jewish father. Eventually we ended up having a lot of Chinese followers as well. Also on YouTube, on TikTok, but mainly our audience comes from China, which is quite unique.
I have really high respect for you. We're doing something similar. We're doing something very
similar. We do, man. That's why I love this guy, bro. I really wish that your impact goes bigger and bigger, because you're doing something so important that so little people do. Not many people do it, and they don't do it not because they don't want to do it. And I feel like you bring that similar energy in your videos, and the people that you interview feel that from you. Even me, I'm feeling it right now. And I feel you have such a huge future to go. So yeah, entrepreneurship in China is the best thing you can do for yourself. If I would recommend somebody to think of one place to build a business, in this fucking country. Not just content, the opportunity to build a product here, the opportunity to create an AI tool, the opportunity to create
land of opportunities.
It is, always has been for the last 10 years, land of opportunities, and it still is to today. The biggest thing about entrepreneurship is not about the revenue. I think it's a lot about also your cost efficiency. So I'm saying, like, the industry changed over the years, that our revenues may have not completely became huge, but our costs became lower. So our profit margins over the last 2 years has really tripled. So when I started making videos, man, to set up a video camera and an editor and subtitles and to build up content on any platform, you need a team, you need experts. It would be quite costly. Compared to 2025, to make one video in high quality, it costed, back in the day, one video costed at least, with all the salaries and stuff, it would be around 4,000 to 5,000 RMB. Now it costs, I don't know, a couple hundred kwai maybe for one video. I can do a video in 0 kwai and make a really quality video. So our profit margins over the last 2 years has really tripled because we managed to use AI and new tools available to make better business, basically.
I have one last question I want to ask you.
Yeah, keep
As
going.
a Chinese expert, for being here for 15 years, what are the 5 industry might blow up in China in the next 10 years?
Wow, I will analyze this question using my clients that I work with. Because I can sense from the clients that come to advertise through my videos, through the number of times they spend money every month, I can tell where the money is now really hot. The number one, electric vehicles. Anything when it comes to automotive industry, China is on a roll, man. They're killing it. I also think the innovation, also the guts of the entrepreneurs behind this industry, they're really bold entrepreneurs. They're thinking huge, they're taking massive risks. They're trying to create what Japan created 20 years ago and shock the American manufacturing industry, you know? But China is doing it now globally, maybe less in the US because a lot of Chinese cars are not selling in America. I remember there's actually 0 Chinese cars. Globally, other regions. In Israel, the highest selling electric cars are BYD, so Zeekr, MG.
So that's industry number 1.
Industry number 2, I would say AI, because I think AI is globally very relevant. But if you look at the amount of clients that come to me, I work with Kuake, Wenxin with DeepSeek. What's the Tencent one it's called? 那个自己也开发的那个，哇，我忘了。豆包。
Don't know about
Doubao is a really good AI agent too. China has multiple high quality AI agents that are constantly improving. They're very competitive, they raise a lot of money, and they're trying to create models for different niches and different markets. They're not all competing on the ChatGPT, DeepSeek. They're creating services around for working tools, for editing tools, for organizing tools.
It's very like niche based.
Yeah, but they're doing so much, so many of them, and there are a lot of them actually growing to 10, 20, 50 million users. You know, the CEO of NVIDIA, Huang Laoban, he said that 50% of the world's AI research engineers are in China.
That's crazy.
By number. Quality-wise, obviously, it's hard to say. The US is really strong, China is also strong. But the quantity, half of them in the world that are doing AI engineering are based here. It means that in 10 years from now, not even 10, 5 years from now, China will be dominating AI in some way or another. It might not have the same user impact like OpenAI, but it will have the capability to serve the people here or any other countries that accept them into an AI world. China is leading the world in AI. So EVs, AI. Number 3, definitely content creation. What we're doing, right? China is like a sea of opportunities for content. Like there's so many platforms. You can be on Xiaohongshu, you can be on Douyin, you can be on Bijan, right? You can be on Kuaishou if you want. You can go and make videos on Weibo. And you can also have so many access to like communities that are really passionate about content. You can be foreigner, you can be a gym trainer, you can be a student, you can be a 70-year-old grandpa, you can be
They have a lot
mom.
of 70 grandpa on Douyin.
They do, bro, and they're hugely buff. I follow this dude who is extremely healthy, and he looks like he's in his like 30s, and he's huge, but he's like 70 or something, 72, and he has crazy lifestyle. China became a 全民创作者的一个这样的地方. Everyone is in the content world. I think that industry is always booming. That's why when I see you, I'm like, yes, the industry is going the right way because you're in it, and you decided to leave your corporate job. I imagine you had a corporate job before?
Yes.
So this is where I see this industry, like people are doing this job. I think it's one of the beautiful things about content creation, the collabs, the connect, and that's something that other industries might not have so much because you might want to go on meetings, but it's a bit too formal sometimes. The incentives are a little bit different. Content creation is like
You can talk online first, you can see the videos,
let's
catch
hang out.
the vibe.
Oh my God, man. So you got it right. You're collabing all the time, and this is also how I do content. Since the beginning of me doing content, all I do is how can I meet cool people? How can I feature them? How can I give them a voice? I just went to the US last month to make a video with MrBeast.
MrBeast. I saw you on the video.
Yes.
影视飓风.
Oh, Tim, yeah.
I saw you.
I brought the top 10 Chinese influencers to Greenville and to learn from the #1 most influential content creator in the world.
You're the one behind the whole thing happen.
Yeah.
You're the one make the whole thing happen.
Yeah. I work with him, and he's coming to China soon as well. You know what? You're gonna meet him.
For real?
I promise you. When he
appreciate
comes, I'll tell you where you come and you can say hi. Honestly, once you enter the space, no matter how big you are, you can have 3,000 followers, 50K or 20 million. Nobody's judging. It's not a very judgmental society. I think maybe in the world of celebrities or world of tech sometimes, there's hierarchy, CEO,
It is.
workers. There is celebrity and normal people. Content creators, man, even Jimmy, man, he's chill, you know, he just chats with you.
It is.
He might chat about $100 million project and you're sitting there like, or like he tells you, I spent $5 million in this video and you're like, but he chats with you like you're just a friend. He doesn't judge you, he doesn't look down on you. Yeah, a lot of content creators are like that. Some of them are a bit less, but majority of them. And I think you're gonna be the one guy that's smaller creators one day are gonna look up that and being like, wow. And you have to have that open heart to show them and be like, come, I'm willing to have a chat, because that's why we're a great community, man. That's why this third industry, content creation, is probably the most rewarding. Although AI and EVs are amazing, but as a content creator, you can do AI content, you can do EV content. I love that, right?
It's like octopus. You have like all these legs.
You can,
reach out to different
you can
areas.
do anything, bro. Now, 2 more industries. Look, I think these are the top 3. Like, there's 2 more, I guess, that I think is the world of robots and robotics.
Ooh.
You know, China is one of the craziest robots, Unitree, right? And China does one thing that other countries don't do. China is integrating robots in day-to-day life much faster than any other country. Hotel rooms, robots.
Exactly.
Malls, cleaning, robots. The robots in China are becoming more and more consumable, and China is integrating robotics into the consumer behavior. In the past, things will first happen in the West and then bring to China. That I think is very exciting. And then my last one that I want to tell you, I think China is probably the best in the world when it comes to photography. DJI Insta360, you know? So the idea of drone photography, epic photography, vlogging. If you look at China and you'd be like, if I want to look at the future of content technology, the technology behind content creation, which is the cameras we're using here, right? It is the microphones we use, it is the drone footage we use, and it is the apps we use, like CapCut, right? Chinese company, bro.
True, apps too. I forgot about them.
You're living in a Chinese content creation technology world, not just as a creator. Creator business is you and your ideas, but the industry behind making tools for creators is amazing. Just like Tim, Insha Jufeng, he's building a lot of tools to help creators make better content, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, we should get going soon.
40 minutes.
40 minutes, I'm sorry, yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay, I learned a lot from you.
Oh,
I'm definitely more solid about my plans. You know,
Yeah,
from
bro.
the beginning, I'm almost like, yeah, I know this is what I'm gonna do. This is the future. I know it deep inside. Like,
You felt it inside,
I
right?
felt it inside.
But you also have to work hard to get here, and you're still working hard every day, man.
I do.
You have to maintain a very hard-working attitude all throughout being a content creator.
Discipline.
Once you let go a little bit, and once you stop, you kind of enter a bad spiral of like laziness and like self-hate,
The only thing of the whole interview I don't agree with is this one. True, man. It's okay to take a day off.
You know what? That's true. That's a very Chinese side of me, and that's a very Western side of you.
Okay.
Because I would just work. I would
can't.
chill, and you need a bit of that chill, man. It's summertime. It's Europe summer. You gotta get your break. But that was a good one, man.
Thank you so much. That was it. Appreciate it.
Good luck on your stuff, man.
How you say thank you in Hebrew?
Toda.
Toda.
It's like toda, like a big head.
Oh, toda.
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 Okay.
Guys, follow this guy. He's an absolute legend.快点一下关注吧，他真的很厉害。我特别期待他接下来的视频啊。然后如果你们想关注我，还是别了，不要关注我视频。
Anyway, I'll leave you all your content, like all the platforms you guys be in, and your personal Instagram,
Thank you, bro.
emails in the comment section. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
Okay, man. Thank you again.
Toda.
בבקשה.
בבקשה.
He's Bukhachi.
Alright, thank you guys for watching the video. I remember when I started making content, my intention was because not many people wanted to travel to China, and also not many contents on YouTube about China. That was back in 2022. Well, today is 2025 September. I'm happy to see a lot of bloggers start to traveling to China and also have pretty good positive experience about it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope the video can inspire more people, whether you want to start your new life in China or you want to be a content creator. So let me know what you guys think. Feel free to leave some comments in the comments. I will see you guys in the next video.